Hey guys, it is Jess. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a kind of traditional style speed build, and this was, I think originally someone may have requested a traditional home in the comments, and I was like, hey, let's do my best to do kind of like that sort of traditional style. Yeah, I guess like being in Australia, I don't really know what traditional is, but I just kind of did something that I thought was traditional enough. So this is a family home, and I made it very cluttered and, well, not super duper cluttered, but relatively cluttered and lived in. I was going for like a real family vibe. Like I wanted it to look like someone lived in this house. Yeah, so there's definitely a few parts of the house that are super cluttered, and you will kind of see what I mean as we get like a little bit more into it. I also put like a little fake garage on this build as well. I know some people like them, some people don't. I just thought that it fit in well with a more traditional style home, considering they would probably have a garage in them. With this particular garage though, I kind of put a laundry in it, which I think is a thing. I know that even like my home where my parents live, they have like their dryer in the laundry, and I know that we have some family in the States, and they have their laundry in their garage, so I think it's a thing. Also in the garage, I put in some like fitness stuff, so I just kind of made it look like it was a sort of yeah, one of those garages that isn't really for cars, where you put like a whole heap of other stuff in it instead. So yeah, that's kind of what I was going for there. From memory, this home should have about 4 or 5 bedrooms and about 3 bathrooms. I built it a little while ago, so I can't quite remember 100%. But yeah. So I am going to also be doing like a full voiceover for this particular video. As I've mentioned before, I actually have like a second job, so I'm working like kind of 6 days a week. So I just don't always have time to do like a full voiceover. But I think that I will probably do longer videos, or like the 20-minute videos, I will probably do a voiceover for them, just because I think that it's too long to not have like a voiceover. It's probably just going to be like more of the shorter videos that I will do a really short voiceover or put music in. I just think it's like more appropriate, like 3 songs or 3 or 4 songs, and then any more than that I feel like it's going to become maybe like a little bit repetitive. I don't know, we'll see how we go, but at least for this video we have the full voiceover. So yeah, I also, as you can see, kind of made that little garage using just like some wallpaper and columns and everything. I quite like the way that it turned out, and I went in with the green, yeah, that kind of like green siding with the bricks. I feel like I should be way more creative as far as the exterior goes, but I kind of do the same old thing. It's not my strong point. I definitely need to watch some more videos on that so that I can get a little bit better at it. Speaking of videos, check out in my description below, I have a video recommendations playlist. I try to update it every kind of like 1 to 3 months, just depending on how I go. But it's basically a playlist of videos that I have found from other simmers that I think are like really worthwhile watching. Some of them are from like bigger simmers, or ones that you've probably already seen or heard about, like Simlacy and Avalon Sims, Plumbella, etc. But then I also use that playlist to kind of find other simmers who I haven't heard about, or who have smaller channels, or who are newer YouTubers, and I put their videos in that playlist as well. I pretty much just go into the search and I go like Sims 4 speed build, and I look at say everything that's been uploaded for that day or that week, and you can find some real little hidden gems just from some like up and coming YouTubers, or yeah, just ones that I've never heard of before. So that's always in my description. Make sure you check it out. Yeah, anyway, so we're doing the kitchen. We're going to have like a weird little like jump cut. I'm pretty sure that I got interrupted halfway through this kitchen, so I had to kind of like stop what I was doing, and then I started a bit, and then I kind of got to this point before I hit record again. That's the only problem with like trying to do these speed builds with people at home, is that when you get like interrupted, it's just like you have to stop, and like otherwise you have to like try and find where the breaks are, and yeah, it's good. Like sometimes you just sit down and you can build for like a whole hour, sometimes even more, and it's like completely uninterrupted, and it's like they're the best speed builds in my opinion. But anyway, we're doing the kitchen now, so it's definitely not a very big kitchen, and it's kind of when you first walk in. This house has a lot more living area than kind of like kitchen and eating areas, but I was kind of thinking like a larger family would live in this house, so I mean the kitchen in my opinion was like not the the main focus of the house. It was more having like comfortable bedrooms and like living spaces instead. So I opted to have, yeah, the smaller kitchen, but there's still plenty of space for like food preparation and things like that. I tried to clutter it up as much as possible, but then also have bench space free. So there should be at least 1 to 2 bench spaces that you can use to prepare food and everything. Yeah, so it's like still cluttered but functional, because I really hate it when, and I'm so guilty of this, but when I like over clutter kitchens and like they look really good, well, in my opinion, but then you can't really use them. They're not super functional because you've sort of used up all of the counter space and everything. So in this case, it should be fine. This whole like front area here is probably the most cluttered part of the house, and I kind of felt like that was appropriate because like the kids would come home from school and sort of clutter up this whole front area. So it is the messiest part of the house. It was also really good because I didn't have to have like a really big entryway to furnish. I feel like sometimes they can be really overwhelming. It was just pretty much just one little space here. So I ended up putting in, you know, like the shoes and the umbrellas and just like the normal little things like that. And then I end up getting this, like this hallway entry table. And I end up cluttering it with so much stuff. I'm just doing it here now. I don't end up using that one. I'm pretty sure I change it over. Or maybe I do use that one. I'm getting a bit confused now because I've done a few builds lately, so I can't remember. I think I actually do keep this one. And yeah, I just put like heaps of random stuff up here, like plants and then other kind of like more home style things like the dog treats. And I end up putting like some of those, like the mail, those letter mail things, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I end up putting those there as well. But yeah, just like really trying to make this look as cluttered as possible. And then next to that, I end up actually getting the children's backpacks, and I put a few of those there because I remember when I was in school and I'd like come home from school and I would just dump down all my backpacks at the front door. So I put them all there. And see you later, that's already gone. I didn't even really get a chance to talk about it, but anyway, moving on. So this is like the, like more of like a sitting area. So still like a living space, but more where you'd sort of sit down rather than watch TV. But I did end up putting like that small little TV there, which I just kind of thought, you know, like maybe if you're eating or you just, I don't know, just it's good to have like that little second TV. So this is, as I said, more of a seating area, but you could put, you know, like a bookshelf or like a bigger TV in that space there if you wanted to make this like an actual proper living room. And then those 2 double doors that actually lead into a second living room, which is kind of more of like the kids area. So I imagine that this would be kind of like mostly the adults area and then like maybe the young kids. So I put the toys there. So it's kind of like the adults and then the toddlers that might need a little bit of extra supervision or something. And then the next room that we're going to do is more of like the teenagers. So I was playing around with bookshelves there, but it kind of just wasn't working as well because the stairs were there and I really didn't want to get rid of, like, I don't know how to explain it, but the stairs, I like it how they don't have like the full wall. It's just kind of like you walk on up and there's not like, there's like the railing that's visible. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, you saw what I did and I was pretty happy with it. Then going on into the little dining area here, and again, it's not very big, which is good because I don't really like doing dining rooms that much. And I also went with the chairs from Backyard Stuff in the house, and I thought that it worked with this house because this is a lot more colourful than what I usually do. I kind of just wanted to lash out a little bit and go with like kind of a lot more colour and, you know, colors and items that I wouldn't normally use. So it's not super duper matching, but as I said, I feel like that's a part of the whole, you know, the lived in family style home. Now this is the other room that I was talking about. I kind of put in those double doors there because I kind of wanted it to look a little bit like maybe this was an extension to the house, or it's kind of like, I don't know, like it used to be something else, but now it's a room. If you don't like that look, of course you can change those double doors to like an archway or whatever you want. You could even knock that wall out and make it like a really big living area as well. It's totally up to you. But this is kind of where I imagine the kids and the teenagers would hang out. So I put in like the fake console unit. They've got the speaker and they've got the games there for the kids and everything. And then I do put some more stuff against the back wall. I'm pretty sure I put a chess table, if I'm remembering correctly. I've done, as I said, 2 or 3 like kind of similar homes like this, like the large family styled homes. So think I'm like kind of putting all my builds into one a little bit and having a little bit of trouble remembering exactly what I did with each build, which sorry, but yeah. So just cluttering up this a lot. As I said, this is kind of like the kids zone, so I was like, yeah, that'd be pretty cluttered. And I remember when I was little, if I had like a little zone like this to myself, it probably wouldn't be the tidiest little area out there. So yeah, I put that little like that drawing station there, and I put the nail polish there, which I thought was pretty appropriate. And okay, we don't put in a chess table, or do we? No, okay, we put in a bookshelf. I'm sure I put some kind of skill item. I also kept on hitting my Windows key instead of my Alt key for some reason. I don't know what was going on. I think I'd changed keyboards and I was getting all confused. Anyway, this little area here is just like a little, I think it's like the sort of study area, but I'm pretty sure that I put lots of plants. Oh, see, I can't remember. This is really bad. Okay, no, it's a study area. Definitely the study area. I like doing these little study rooms. I think that they're really, really cute. And this kind of had that like green and white theme. And I do put plants in there. So it's kind of like, I don't know, a really airy, planty kind of room. And I'd love something like this in my house. I think that'd be like a really nice place just to like sit down and maybe like record some videos or just get stuff done. You've got like the plants around you and the really pretty bay window. And yeah, I just think this room is really, really cute and I like the way that it turned out. So this is a garage, like fake garage area that I was talking about. So I end up, yeah, putting the laundry in here. I just thought that it was kind of appropriate, and I figured that maybe this family doesn't actually use the garage for their cars, which, as I mentioned before, I feel like that's a pretty normal standard thing to do. And then I also raised up that shelf to make it look more like a cabinet, and I really like how that turned out. I was definitely going for like a really cluttered sort of look for this laundry, so I kind of put in a lot of the laundry day stuff and some cabinets and really just tried to make it look, you know, like 5 people's worth of laundry gets done in here every day kind of thing. So I really do like the way that it turned out. And then over in the corner, you'll see me in a moment, I just put in a punching bag, and I think I also put in like a yoga mat. So it's just kind of like haphazardly kind of just shoved in there, just because I figured like there was a bit of extra space. So this family was like, oh, well, we'll just put like the boxing bag back there and, you know, call it a day. So we're going upstairs now to the bedrooms. So there's a master bedroom up here and then the kids' rooms. So the master bedroom that we're doing now, I ended up going with this brown color scheme. I don't think I really use these colors that often. So I thought that I may as well use them. But to be honest, this is not my favorite bedroom. I just don't really like the color brown that much. Yeah, I don't know, I don't like this colour scheme, but as I said, I wanted to do something different, something that's not, you know, like cream, white and blue, or cream, white and green, which is what I always do. But yeah, as I said, probably not my favourite. I think that the darker colours, in a way, I think it makes a room look slightly more dated or older, and that might just be because here in Australia, probably like in the 90s, these kind of colour schemes were very like prominent. So if you go into an older home that hasn't been updated, it'll have that colour scheme. So I think that's where that association comes from, and I'm not sure if that's like universal or just here where I live, but there's that. So we're doing the kids' room now. So this is like probably like a child, like a female child, I would say, fairly young as well. I do sometimes wish that we had like slightly older kids, like somewhere between like the kid and the teenager or something like that, because I always have rooms where I'm like, this is like a kid, like this kid would be 9, or like, yeah, this kid would be like nearly a teenager, like 12. I don't know, I just feel like it's very jarring going from like the kid to the teenager. It's like really young kid to like nearly adult teenager. But anyway, this room has not really a colour scheme per se. It's just kind of rainbow, I guess. And I do like doing this with my kids' rooms. I think that it's a lot more appropriate. Kids don't really, I don't think that they're going to care about colour schemes and things matching perfectly. So it's kind of fun to be able to go all out, and I think that with the kids' room, it doesn't look silly. I think that if you kind of did like this whole like rainbow house theme, it just wouldn't look as good, because, you know, like you kind of need to have some kind of colour scheme throughout the normal house. But when it comes to the kids' rooms, my theory is the more colours, the merrier. So yeah, just kind of cluttering up the top of this shelf, and then we're going to go into some of the other bedrooms in a minute. I try and put in, you know, like a range of ages and genders for the bedrooms. Like I try to do, you know, like boys' rooms and girls' rooms. So this one here is like a kids' boys' room. And I quite like the way this one turned out as well. I didn't have a whole lot of space for this particular room, but I think that I managed to use the space well and get in like a few things. So you've got, you know, like your little colouring in table, and you also have a bear, or actually it's a dragon, but it's like a plushy toy thing. So the theme for this room was definitely like arts. So I was imagining a kid who's like super into arts and crafts. So I put a lot of like paintings and sort of like those little like posters and stuff to just indicate that whoever lives in this room would sit at that craft table and just do like heaps of drawings and stuff like that. I wish that we did have a few more sort of like fake paintings and stuff, but I probably could have just gone into the Buy Debug catalogue and gotten some from in there. And like in hindsight, I'm like, why didn't I do that? But it's too late now. The build's done. I mean, it's not technically too late, but you know what I mean. So this one here is a toddler's room. And when I do the toddler rooms, I like to leave an extra square around the toddler bed, just so that when the toddler ages up into a child, you don't have to like redecorate the whole entire room just to be able to fit like a kid-sized bed in there. So it might look a little bit bare, and you could probably just put something at the end of that bed just to clutter it up for now. But I did intentionally leave a little bit of space so that when this kid, or when this toddler grows up to a kid, you can just get the matching child's bed, and you can just pop that up on the wall, and it'll look like, it'll still look good. In fact, it'll probably look a little bit better because the space will be filled up a little bit more. And as I said, it's something that I do try and do pretty often with my toddler rooms, because just from playing myself, it's so annoying when you get this room like perfect, and then next minute the toddler ages up and you have to just like redesign everything. And I also used the avocado rug. Is that it? That's what I call it, the avocado rug, because it looks like an avocado. So anyway, I use that, and I really like the swatches, but it's not something that I find easy to use in the rest of the house. So I put it in that toddler room, and I thought that it worked out really well. So this is the upstairs bathroom, and it's the only bathroom that I actually furnished on camera. And I made this bathroom I tried to make it like cluttered for a bathroom, because this is like the kids' bathroom. So once again, I'm just imagining like the parents are always fighting with the kids about keeping their bathroom clean, and it's just never exactly neat. So I do put in a few like little clutter items, and I put like some clothes on the floor, and just like little hints like that to, I guess, indicate that, hey, this is not the parents' bathroom, and it's a little bit of a messier bathroom. I also put in this little like table over near the toilet in a little bit, and I just really like the way that this bathroom turned out. And I put the little like, what are they called? Like the robes in there and everything. I really do think it looks kind of just like lived in and like a kid sort of bathroom. And yeah, going in with like the clothes and stuff, I think it really just makes it. And then I'm just about to go in with this little like table thing, because I just kind of thought it needed a bit more storage. Like maybe there's some hairbrushes and makeup, or I don't know, just like bathroom stuff. So I also put on top of that, I put a plant and those towels. So in a minute, we're going to go into like a very quick little machinima of the garden, because I didn't film oh, actually, no, not yet. Take that back. I'm premature. But now I don't have to rush about talking about it. So after we furnish this little bit here, and this is kind of just like this is where I put the gaming table. I knew I had one of them somewhere. Anyway, after we did this little gaming table area, I didn't record the landscaping in the backyard, just simply because I feel like it can be a little bit repetitive to always record the landscaping, especially when it's very similar all the time. So instead of actually recording it, I did just like a very small, quick clip of the garden once it was landscaped, but before I'd started like kind of decorating it. And I thought that maybe that was like a better way, so you can kind of see what I did with the garden, because I'm like showing you with the machinima, but you're not like having to sit through a few minutes of me actually doing it. I do have like a pretty big build coming up soon. It's a base game mansion, and I think I'm going to use the same machinima style for that base game mansion as well, because there's a lot of bedrooms in that and a lot of like repetitive rooms. So instead of having all the footage in there, I'm going to do a mixture of like speed build and then just like showcasing the room off. So yeah, let me know if you want to see more of this sort of style. It's really easy to do, and in my opinion, I just kind of liked it better. So there you go, like you can see the garden, you know what you're looking at, and now we're going into the actual, yeah, like decoration, furnishing of the garden. So this is a pretty basic garden. It's got like the pool, and it has the clothesline, and I do end up putting in a basketball hoop. Yep, there we go. And yeah, those monkey bars. So I'm gonna let you guys go now, not much longer before screenshots. So thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to catch you all in another video. Bye everybody.